Following on from our list we made in December of the best war films of the 2010s, we're moving back a decade and looking at the best war movies made between 2000 and 2009. Make sure you hit the subscribe button for more lists looking at different decades of the genre. Number 10, Black Book. Paul Verhoeven's stunning espionage thriller Black Book stars Karis Van Houten as a Jewish singer who goes undercover with the Nazis in the Netherlands. She's trying to win the war, but the unexpected storyline has other plans, and she finds herself in one daunting situation after another, challenging her morality and putting her in the crosshairs of both her enemies and her allies. Black Book is a pulse-pounding movie filled with exciting imagery and action that would seem pulpy if Verhoeven didn't make it look so plausible. Number 9, City of Life and Death. The Nanking Massacre is far from the most famous atrocity committed during the years leading up to World War II, but it is by far one of the most horrific. As many as 300,000 Chinese civilians and disarmed soldiers were killed by the Imperial Japanese Army, which plays out on screen in much the way you'd expect it to, as a dizzying descent into the horrors we've still yet to fully understand more than 80 years later. Number 8, Waltz with Bashir. Waltz with Bashir is a documentary that unfolds the repressed memories of its director Ari Folman, who served in the Israeli army during the 1982 Lebanon War. Even though Folman does not consider the Lebanese or Palestinian perspective, the film remains a harrowing journey from the anguishes of war to absolute horror. Folman's spectacular visual journey builds up to the Sabra and Shatila massacre, which turns into disturbingly real footage. Number 7, Master and Commander: The Far Side of the World. Peter Weir's impressively detailed historical drama takes place on the HMS Surprise during the Napoleonic Wars. The story revolves around the friendship between Captain Jack Albright and Surgeon Steve Maturin as they pursue a French war vessel off the coast of South America. The ultimate naval warfare movie, Master and Commander is rich in period accuracy and dense with distinctive and fascinating characters. Number 6, Letters from Iwo Jima. Clint Eastwood's ambitious two-film experiment depicting the Battle of Iwo Jima from both sides of the conflict wound up a little lopsided. The American-focused Flags of Our Fathers was somewhat well received, but his stunning Letters from Iwo Jima, which was filmed almost entirely in Japanese, was quickly declared the superior achievement. Ken Watanabe heads a striking ensemble cast, as American forces pummel Iwo Jima and certain victory gradually devolves into horrifying failure. By placing the camera on opposing shores, Eastwood portrays the Allies as an overwhelming adversary. Number 5, Inglourious Basterds.
Now, if one were to determine what attribute the German people share with a beast,
it would be the cunning and the predatory instinct of a hawk.
But if one were to determine what attributes the Jews share with the beast, it would be that of the rat.
Inglourious Basterds is a World War II movie informed by the decades of war movies that preceded it, and is fully aware of fiction's ability to reshape history. The film pits SS Colonel Hans Lander against a troop of Jewish American soldiers under the command of Lieutenant Aldo Raine. As his film makes its way towards a final confrontation in Paris, Tarantino touches on everything from the racial subtext of King Kong to the power of propaganda and the ways different eras and subgenres of war films have interpreted World War II.
Bitte dich, ist doch eindeutig nicht in Amerika geboren worden.
Aber ich habe Amerika besucht, richtig?
Ja.
War dieser Besuch erfreulich?
Nicht für Sie.
Number 4, The Hurt Locker.
25 meters, roger that. Sanborn! Butcher shop, 2 o'clock, dude has a phone!
Why is Eldridge running?
Make him put it down! Put down the phone!
The movie-going public has largely proved resistant to films about the Iraq War, maybe because it remained the subject of heated controversy even as the films started to appear, and it still remains so to this day. One exception, however, is Kathryn Bigelow's Best Picture winning The Hurt Locker, which doesn't ignore the politics of a conflict but also focuses on the terrifying experiences of an explosive ordnance disposal team led by Jeremy Renner's William James. Bigelow captures the intensity and how the experience becomes so enveloping that any other way of life starts to feel impossible. Number 3, Black Hawk Down. Ridley Scott's Black Hawk Down is a masterpiece of immediacy, thrusting the audience in the midst of a seemingly infinite firefight. Based on the true story of an ill-fated raid in Mogadishu, where 2 Black Hawk helicopters crash-landed in the midst of hostile territory, stranding soldiers and forcing their compatriots to mount a risky rescue mission, Scott's film keeps every member of the ensemble cast in play throughout the entire running time, and thanks to Oscar-winning editing, you never get confused about where everybody is and where all those bullets are coming from.
We got a Black Hawk down, we got a Black Hawk down.
Number 2, Downfall.
Gelungen, die Front in breiter Formation zu durchbrechen. Im Süden hat der Gegner Zossen genommen und stößt auf Stahnsdorf vor. Der Feind operiert jetzt am nördlichen Stadtrand zwischen Frohnau und Pankow und im Osten ist der Feind bis zur Linie Lichtenberg-Marsdorf-Karlshorst gelangt.
This claustrophobic account of the last days of Nazi Germany take place within the dark corridors of Hitler's bunker. The movie follows the downfall of the Third Reich, as well as the mental decline of its insane leader. Thanks to its physical setting and the unhinged headspace of the main characters, the film gives viewers a first-person perspective of those who identified as Nazis.
Ich war eher von der Akademie. Und doch habe ich allein auf mich gestellt, ganz Europa erobert.
Before we reveal our number 1 film, here are some honourable mentions that just missed the list. Atonement, Hotel Rwanda,
I lost 10 Belgian UN soldiers.
Taegeuk Gi, The Brotherhood of War, Jarhead, Enemy at the Gates. Number 1, The Pianist. Roman Polanski kicked off the 21st century with a sophisticated Oscar-winning World War II survival drama which not only offered an authentic depiction of the Warsaw Ghetto, but proved that controversy aside, the director could still deliver where it mattered. Adrian Brody deservedly picked up Best Actor for his muted portrayal of Jewish concert pianist Władysław Spielman, whose mission to stay alive against titanic odds is an inspiring testament to the human instinct for self-preservation.
Was ist los? Geht's Ihnen ab? Die Russen da? Noch nicht.
Thank you for watching. Have your own opinions? Leave them in the comments below and be sure to subscribe for new content every week.